back in that bag again. Whoa, whoa, yeah, yeah. Hey. Back in that, yeah. Tell them to watch it. Now I ain't talking my pockets. Just know we ain't running out the way that we stock it. If I got it, you got it. If I call it, she sliding.
Yo, what's going on, Shoebox family? Welcome back to another episode of Shoebox Sports, presented by Shoebox Network. I'm your host, Key. I got my guys in this motherfucker. What's going on, Sig? What's going on, Kakarot?
What's going on, Key? Another day, another Sunday. 1 week
Another
away
day,
from the big
another
game.
Sunday. Yes, Lord. Before we start, my boy, unfortunately, my boy Josh couldn't be here today. He having his firstborn. Come on now, let's give it up for my boy.
Hey,
Congratulations to my boy.
let's go.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord.
You put one up for you.
Congratulations, young nigga. We are nearing the last game of the 2022 season next week, which means no more football for about 6 months. I know we got the draft and free agency and all that extra shit, but man, we all
I don't
miss
want to hear that.
it.
Need football back in my life, man. I don't know what to do without it. Although my Niners, but we'll get to that.
We'll get to that, man. I feel like football is more of therapy for us, bro. It lets us
Absolutely.
see all that aggression, and it
I
just
had no
calms
idea
me
what to
down a
do.
little bit,
I had
bro.
no idea what to do today. But the whole
Yeah, bro. I didn't even. Yeah, bro. You not lying. I think the
it
Pro Bowl was today or something.
was, and I saw it. It was actually pretty funny. Some shit was funny. The flag football was great.
Oh, you was
Eli
watching
and
that shit?
Eli, and, yeah, Eli and Payne were taken super serious. In the end, NFC won, and Eli out afterwards and just put it on net and was just like, well, we know who the greatest Manning coach is, and that's me. Peyton's the worst. And you could tell at the final play of the game, Kirk Cousins kneeled the ball after they were like win it, and there was 10 seconds left, and Peyton just came storming on the field. That's a flag. That's a flag. You can't. One's like yelling at him back, like doing the crying face, like saying bye bye. It was great.
That is crazy. I don't even know the last time I watched the Pro Bowl, bro. I can't even remember. I haven't watched the Pro Bowl in so long, and apparently they just added a skills challenge this year.
Yeah,
And
that
so
was interesting.
apparently it wasn't live, but you was able to watch the replays on YouTube. And I was hearing that it was pretty funny and actually pretty good. So I might have to go check that out.
Yeah, they made it into like an hour-long video of the some of the skills challenges that they did, and then today was 3 hours worth. They played three different flag football games, one each game for QB that was selected. Tyler Huntley did pretty well, honestly. He heard the noise from the crowd, but um, in between they would have a bunch of different relay racers, and they would have a different best catch. Who I lost so much respect towards is Amon St. Brown. Marcelo, tell me why this man pulls up his shirt and shows the world that he got a big ass Pete Davidson tattoo, a fucking face of Pete Davidson on
Why
his
would you
big
do
ass
that?
biceps.
Why would you do that?
Saying Pete
Bro,
#1 fan, and literally
What?
bro,
RG3 was interviewing him, and he goes, "Pete, come over here." And Pete walks on over, and he looks at it, and he's like, "Oh man!" You could tell Pete is like, "That's a terrible fucking tattoo." He was just like, "Thanks, man, I appreciate it, but I hope it comes off."
hey, relax on my boy, man. Anybody that won't smoke with any Detroit Lions, bro, gotta go through me first, bro.
Man, I lost so much
We gonna
respect for
squab.
Amon Ra.
Man, I'm not trying to hear that shit, bro. You didn't seen weirdest, bro. You didn't seen your boy didn't kiss the man on stage, bro. And you ain't lose no respect for his ass, so I don't want to hear nothing about
that's
that shit,
that's
bro.
that's pop
There is no,
culture
that is
celebrity.
not, bro.
Nothing to do with
What?
sports.
I'm not trying to hear that
Amon
bullshit, bro.
went from an alpha to a beta.
Man, anyways, bro, what?
Beta.
Who cares, bro? Niggas getting pussy.
Okay.
Anyways, besides football, at least I get to focus on my Spartans. I think we'll start discussing a lot more basketball with March Madness and the NBA playoffs approaching within the next month or two. And I'm actually a little bit excited. I really enjoy watching crunch time basketball, bro. It's probably my favorite other than football. I don't really watch the regular seasons of games. I have been catching up with the Spartans and they little schedule they got going on. They just took a tough loss against the Rutgers the other day. But I don't know. I don't know why I don't, bro. I feel like basketball is just soft as fuck. But when it comes to March Madness and the actual playoffs, that's when the refs actually let the game be played how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, how's your San
NBA,
Francisco how your San Francisco team doing, bro? I know you was rooting for the motherfuckers last March Madness. How they doing?
they're not doing so hot like last year. They have about 7 losses under their belt, and a few of them were some tough losses that they could have easily won. I don't know if they'll make March Madness this year, but they have a slight chance. But apart from that, I honestly think who's flying under the radar, because I think the world is just done talking about them, is Gonzaga. And Gonzaga has been making some noise in their own league, in their own right. And Jimmy's still over there. He's doing his thing with his stupid ass mustache. But other than that, I think Gonzaga really has a strong chance to make it really far and deep into the madness. Um, and then of course Houston is just a dominant force. They've been for the past couple of years, and then always somehow lose in the first round. So it'll be interesting. This is the final month of regular season college basketball. It's gonna be great, and then we're gonna get a whole list, and then next year it's gonna expand to what I think they said 94 teams.
Oh, that'd be nice.
hmm It'll be a bunch of meaningless games just to play in games, but um, I definitely see that being a big highlight, and I think a lot of people will tune in for sure.
Hell yeah, man. Actually, I like how Gonzaga is actually playing teams this year. God damn it, they done played Baylor, fucking Alabama. They played a couple decent teams. Usually they have a pretty easy schedule or a lackluster schedule. You know what I mean? But they always show up and show out in the
Yeah,
March Madness tournament, so it doesn't even matter. A lot of
yeah,
people give them a lot of critique about that shit. But when in reality, just like Alabama, bro, even if Alabama had a fucking easy ass schedule, they're still gonna do what they're supposed to do. Yeah, they maybe lose a couple games, but they're still who they are. You know what I mean?
facts, facts. I saw that they played the other day too, who was top 25, but not anymore after that loss. And they narrowly beat Santa Clara. Uh, Santa Clara is an interesting school, by the way. I've been there, and it is very, very small. Like the gymnasium itself couldn't even house more than probably 5,000 people, to be honest. Like it is a very small school, yet they somehow are always making top 25 conversations. Or I didn't mean to say St. Clair. I meant to say St. Mary's. Excuse me.
St. Mary's, okay. I was like,
St.
who the fuck
Mary's.
is St. Clair?
Yeah, excuse me.
Yeah,
St.
St.
Mary's.
Mary's
St.
always.
Mary's. And I was very much wrong with myself. They actually just played last night against Gonzaga and beat Gonzaga in overtime. So I stand corrected. That's
Whew.
definitely on. Yeah.
Are you guys in the bet? Every like March Madness, there's always like a bracket and like a bets going on. Are you guys in that?
I mean, I personally fill out my brackets every year. I don't know about Key.
Yeah, I fill out a bracket. I'm gonna fill out a bracket this year. Hey, do you do any bets or whatnot when it comes to college basketball?
Myself,
Yeah, like
I
you bet on the spreads or
so
anything
I
like that?
was so in California. You can't really, and in Oregon, they don't allow college betting, which is so stupid in my
What?
opinion. Yeah, I was so mad when I found that out. But here in Cali, I have to go through like a third party, like a European country site to be able to put my bets in,
Yeah.
and
I
I
guess it's
haven't
a
done any
luxury
college
being in
betting.
Michigan.
Yeah, but if I were to do some college betting, it would be something like that, where I would say Gonzaga goes to the Final Four, or some crazy school like TCU ends up in the Final Four, or Baylor ends up
Mhm.
in the final. So that those are my kind of bets.
Yeah, that's crazy as hell. Cause I was looking at all this the other day where I actually seen the ad. Cause I don't really do too much sports betting like that, but I see the ad where they had bet on Michigan State basketball versus Rutgers and shit like that, where they had the spread and how much you think they're gonna score and shit like that. I think that's pretty cool. I
Yeah,
also think
yeah,
it's pretty cool that they're starting to finally pay the players, bro. It's amazing to see. It is a little kinks to be worked out because motherfuckers transferring and the transferring portal is just out of control. Like motherfuckers stick with a school, but at the same time, you got to do what's best for you. In a minute,
yeah,
in a minute, it may be possible that motherfuckers start, fucking with college more than the NFL, especially if the NFL continues to put in all these rules and regulations about what the defense can and can't do. They might as well turn that shit into flag football or something.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I like the NIL, especially because they deserve it. They really do. College athletes. I know that see in some of their schoolwork, but at the end of the day, they still do need to do schoolwork. They still need to attend classes. They still need to take the same exams, and then on top of that, they got to go to practice every morning after class,
Hmm.
in between, sacrifice their weekends. So they grind lot through the years at college, and I was glad to see some people are starting to see that. And honestly, a lot of folks like Bennett himself, who will probably never make the league, and he's even electing to go back into playing again for Georgia. So why not? Why not just stick out 4 years at college and collect as much money as you can since you're already making it?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, while getting your damn degree. What's better than
Yeah,
that?
exactly. You're getting your degree and you're getting paid millions, millions. Some people, not all.
Not all, but still
Gotta be a
good
gotta be a star.
compensation. Good
Oh, for
compensation
sure.
though.
Yeah, they're getting like tens of thousands of dollars. Like,
And
yeah,
what I love to see is for the motherfuckers who are not as big as the superstars to at least get a decent size, full tuition paid or some shit like that.
yeah,
Just something
yeah,
to help out everybody because everybody can't be a star. Let's just get over it, bro.
yep, yeah,
Yeah, I agree with Sag because they're risking, their bodies just to entertain you guys, entertain the crowd, you know?
yeah. No, it's good, and it's shaping their business side too because they have to make
Exactly.
those
Yeah.
negotiations and meet with agents
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
business. So it's great. It's great overall for everything.
Hell yeah.
Um, but I'm excited.
Yo, have you guys
Uh,
seen a skit with what is it called? Drew. Have you guys seen that shit?
man, we
I've
see.
I've seen
That
some of them.
that's
Yeah, they're
that's
hilarious.
sick. That's sick. Yeah, and it's hilarious. It's sick. Yeah,
See, now it's funny, Marcelo, because that's the old Kyrie that we all loved and
yeah,
adored. That's the old Kyrie that was
bro.
like,
He's
all
just
right, these
schooling
guys are
everyone.
funny and cool. But then something happened. This man just, I don't know what. I don't know if it's some sort of disorder that unlocked into his head or something
Someone
got
broke
in
his
it. But
heart.
as soon as the pandemic hit, I mean, his views of the world just started
Yeah,
coming out. Like the Earth
yeah.
is flat. Doesn't believe in COVID. He's also
What?
being very anti-Semitic against Jews. He
What?
would not take an apology. He had a 25-minute rant on one of his post-game press conferences a while back where he literally just 25 straight minutes of saying nothing at all until one sentence or where it was where he threw his entire team under the bus and was like, I'm blaming the entire locker room since we're losing. It's all their fault. And just like,
What?
this guy is crazy. And so there was a stipulation in his contract apparently for the Nets signed him due to winning a championship, and that was what was going to be insured, and that was what was promised to Kyrie. And so this week alone, he said, "I'm done. I don't want to play here no more. Trade me." Because the Nets also he also sat out of the playoffs last year with the Nets when they went into the
Hmm.
playoffs, and he said, "Nope, I'm not playing." It's like, bro, what are you
What?
doing? And right now, the Nets are 32 and 24th in the East. So I don't know. That he's crazy, and now he's Luca's problem.
Shit, man. I mean, to be honest, I don't really have a problem with Kyrie at all. One thing I do notice is once motherfuckers start getting to the league and going pro and shit like that, bro, them motherfuckers start to look very miserable, bro. It's like some shit going on in the background, but I don't really want to speak too much on that shit right now. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button for you guys, man. It really helps the channel out. Before we get into it, breaking down this Super Bowl matchup, I want to touch on a few interesting news articles ahead of the Super Bowl. So apparently, Josh Seals, a backup offensive tackle for the Philadelphia Eagles, was indicted on rape allegations or rape charges dating back to 2019. Shout out Bounding into Sports, Remzo Martinez, my guy. So, according to the news release issued yesterday, back in 2019, Seals engaged in sexual activity that was not consensual and held a victim against her will. The crime was immediately reported, and the Guernsey County Sheriff's Office conducted a detailed investigation. This news came as the Philadelphia Eagles will be playing in the Super Bowl, I believe Super Bowl 57. next weekend. Seals is set to appear in court on February 16th, 4 days after the biggest game of the season. The charges stem from an incident that supposedly occurred when he was a student athlete at West Virginia University. It is not known publicly at the time who the alleged victim is. According to a police report obtained by the New York Post in December 2019, Seals allegedly forced the woman to perform oral sex inside of his vehicle, which directly resulted in injuries included bruising to her throat, her inner lip, her right ear, and on the back of her left knee. This nigga
Yeah,
got to go to jail.
yeah. So he definitely I looked it up as well just now, and I see it all stemming back in 2019. It does look like he was placed on the commissioner's exempt list, which means that he was banned from any games, practice, or any team travel. And so this year alone, he actually only played in one regular game. Um, so
Why
we don't
is
have
he
to
on
touch
the team,
we
bro?
don't scumbag that should not be in the league or playing or getting anything. And I have no remorse and no sympathy for big ass 300-pound men like these to put their hands on such a fragile woman. No man should put their hands on a fragile woman. It doesn't matter who you are,
Yeah,
but
but a bigger
especially
guy
the
like this, it just doesn't happen. You don't do that.
yeah. So yeah, the Eagles are just a bunch of scumbags that just have a bunch of shitty players on their team. I always knew that.
Damn, you don't like the Eagles?
Fuck the Eagles and everything they stand for. No, I'm not a fan of the Eagles. No, I'm not a fan of this game. I personally think it's going to be the worst Super Bowl to ever play. We have one quarterback that has a bum shoulder that can't throw more than 40 yards, and then another quarterback that can't even run on his 2 feet. So, I, I mean, overall, this Super Bowl is. I'm probably gonna only turn it on in the third quarter, watch like one or two snaps, and then turn it off. Like I honestly will not.
Yeah.
I will not even pay attention, and I don't even quite frankly care who wins. Someone asked me like, "Who do you think is going to win?" I'm rooting for Rihanna. I don't give a fuck. I don't know. I don't want to spend the time or the amount of energy whatsoever to think of who is actually going to win that game. I don't fucking know. I don't care.
I'm just gonna watch the
Uh,
halftime show.
for any Eagles fans, I apologize. He's a little salty because of what happened last week, or or a week and a half ago or whatnot. So just bear with him.
NFL rigs.
Apparently,
It's always
apparently,
written.
apparently, Julian Love from the Giants claims that Nick Sirianni had a free ride to the Super Bowl
Yes, they
because
did. It's a Mickey Mouse
behind the
year for them.
talented Eagles.
They had the easiest schedule in terms of strength of matchups the entire year. They played nobody, and then they played a banged up Giants team who was just re-emerging for them themselves, and then they played the Niners who lost their quarterback on the sixth snap. They just walked their way into the Super Bowl. This
I understand what you're saying, but we got to put a little respect on Sirianni's name, my guy. I mean, he did get the motherfuckers to the Super Bowl.
sure,
All right, so the Eagles played the Lions first of the game, Vikings, Commanders, Jaguars, Cardinals, Cowboys, Steelers, Texans, Commanders, Colts, Packers, Titans, Giants, Bears, Cowboys, Saints, Giants, and then they played the 49ers. Honestly, bro, besides the Texans, the Colts, maybe the Green Bay Packers, the Steelers, the Cardinals, but they played a solid number of playoff teams, and a couple of them getting a win in the playoffs. So it ain't like they just played against some bums. And any given Sunday, anything can happen. That's
yeah. So they 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 made it to the Super Bowl, and congratulations to them. Good for them. They're gonna have a tough matchup with the Chiefs because Patrick Mahomes, I honestly do think he'll get his second ring,
yes,
and
Lord.
he'll be chasing Tom Brady's legacy. Which is it's funny when people say that because in order for him to do that, he literally has to play into his 40s, and he has to be in a good team. So even still, that's just
How
the
old is
goal.
Mahomes right now?
I believe he's about 25, 26.
He
Still
right
young,
there.
still very young.
Two
He's
Super
27,
Bowls in the
actually. He's
last three
27.
three seasons. That's nuts.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Nah, it's gonna be interesting. Too. I am proud of or not proud, I shouldn't say, but I am happy that um, it's the first Super Bowl where two starting quarterbacks are black, and that's never happened. So, shout out to that stat for sure.
Yeah, congratulations, congratulations.
Yeah, yeah, that's gonna be huge, and because I know that a lot of the storyline has been centered around the Kelsey brothers, but that's something that needs to get talked about a lot as well.
Yeah, that's hard as hell too, though, and that'll never happen again for a while. Cause shit,
Probably.
what's the odds? What's the odds that both Kelsey brothers are on opposing Super Bowl teams next year or in the future?
Yeah, well, if they stay on the same teams, I mean, the Mahomes and Hurts, they have a good career ahead of them for sure. Well, Mahomes already, he's the best quarterback in the league. No, that's not even a debate.
Yeah,
It's not a debate. Whoever wants to have a debate, the best QB in the league is just not a debate.
Damn.
hell yeah. And Jalen Hurts not bad as goddamn self. You seen what the Eagles was able to do without him, and that was nothing. They lost games, so
Yeah,
that
they
should
lost
tell you
one
something.
game. They
You
lost
know what
one
I'm
game.
saying?
So yeah,
Yeah. So, anyways, for me, one key matchup or a matchup prediction that I really want to see. I want to see what this uh, Chiefs front line can do against this Eagles offense. I feel like the Eagles offense is very stout, and it'd be hard for Christian Jones and that defensive line to really get any pressure on Jalen Hurts. But that goes the other way also. I like to see how this Eagles defense face up against Mahomes himself because Mahomes is fucking great.
I honestly, I answered that in the beginning of the first segment. I could care less who wins this game, but if you're gonna put a gun to my head, I would pick the Chiefs for sure.
Okay, that sounds good. So when it comes to who takes the Lombardi home, you sure you going with Mahomes
I'm for sure going with Mahomes. He's
all
he's
day?
all day. Yeah, I don't care what's going on with his ankle. These past 2 weeks, he's been just icing it all day, just keeping it up, and he's just gonna put his whole body out there. I don't care.
Yeah, man. Going to it's crazy. It's crazy seeing his elevation, and it hasn't been nothing but upwards. Even though he always been a fucking winner, like just coming into the league, being able to sit behind Alex Smith and learn the game from him for a little bit, for about a year. What was that? A year or two? Regardless, coming in there when he got his chance, he balled the fuck out. And what did he do since then? Been elite status. Another MVP year, for real, for real. I believe he gets that MVP of the year this year. Let me check his stats real quick. I'm gonna say some. I'm gonna say what's his yearly stats. Hold
They still
on.
haven't announced the NFL awards.
Nope.
Wow.
I'm hoping Aiden Hutchinson get that motherfucking rookie of the year, defensive rookie of the year. Patrick Mahomes.
As I know, my boy Nick Bosa, defensive player of the year. That's for sure.
That's Lord. All right, so this year for the 2022 NFL season so far, because he still has one more game to play. We ain't even gonna talk about that. Patrick Mahomes this year has 5,250 yards passing, 41 touchdowns, and only 12 interceptions, with 105.2 passer rate, and another amazing season. And actually, that's a career high for him because he hasn't got over 5,000 yards since 2018 with 50 touchdowns and 12 interceptions. So, oh my God, he
Yeah.
24,000 career passing yards, 192 touchdowns, and only 49 interceptions. And only three, and let's not even say it's only 3 seasons that he had over uh 11 interceptions. And each time he had 12 or 13 interceptions in the season, he topped that off with 50 TDs, 41 TDs, 37 TDs. So it always offset each other. And the times that he didn't, and he only had 5 interceptions and 6 interceptions, he had 38 TDs, 26 TDs.
Hmm.
Shit is amazing to see, bro. This boy, man, this nigga's an alien. Man.
The problem is that they can score all the points they want. I think they were the leaders and highest team scoring in the league. I think they scored about 29 or 30 every game. But it's their points allowed each game and their defense. And that's going to be tricky because Eagles, they put up numbers and they're right there with them. In terms of total yards a game, I think the stats it shows here Kansas City is 424 yards a game and Eagles are 404 yards a game. So pretty similar there. And then the points is 28 for the Eagles and 29 for Kansas City. So very, very even. But the stat that gets me the most is everyone, we're going to see defense was champions. Kansas City allows 20 points a game. Eagles allows 7 points a game. That's pretty fucking
Jesus,
good.
what the
That's
fuck?
fucking amazing.
When the last time they held a team to fucking 7 points?
7 points. And then
Oh,
the Chiefs.
the 49ers, bro. That's the last fucking game. That was only one game, bro.
Yep, just
Hold on,
one
hold on, hold
fucking
on,
game.
hold on. Let me see. Let me see their fucking schedule, bro. I don't
Yeah.
think they had too many damn shutups.
What was it was their average points a lot of game is 7.
Yeah, bro. They let the Cowboys win. So towards the end of the season,
Am I reading the wrong stats?
you might be because they
Maybe these are stats for the
hold on. That's for
playoffs.
the playoffs
Yeah, never mind. I'm wrong.
because they only
Oops.
allow 7 for the playoffs.
Yeah.
Because in the
Oops.
regular
I'm wrong.
season, they didn't got 40s and all that shit.
That's the strike. That's
But
strike
yeah,
2 for
but
Sags.
shit, that's saying something though anyway because you only allowing 7 points in the playoffs is fucking. That just shows how good the defense been playing this whole. You know what I'm saying? How
Yeah.
much they're in sync. So I like to see that damn stuff, and I like how to see how they play out. If these guys fucking shut out, bro, I'm not even about to jinx that right there. But if that was to happen, bro, oh my god, you couldn't do nothing but respect them. You know they've been very disrespectful on Jalen Hurts' name this whole season, talking
Yeah.
about how he couldn't take him where he taking their ass this year
Yeah.
and next week. So
Bro, it's
congratulations.
yeah, bro. Also for the Eagles, it's the very first time, or the first time in NFL history where I think they had about 3. No, let me see. Or they had 5 fucking individual defensive players that had 10 plus sacks a game, or not a game, but the season.
Hold
5
on,
different
say that
players on
again.
defense. 5 different players on the Eagles defense. First time in over 10 sacks this season.
Damn.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Yeah. Brandon Graham, Javon Hargrave, Josh Sweat, Hassan Reddick. Everyone knows Hassan Reddick.
Oh
Man's,
yeah, he's
man's a beast. He has
fucking
19 and a
vicious.
half. Nick Bosa with 18 and a half. No, so the defense is what really is gonna win them this game. You can you can say that as much as you want. We can keep saying that, but he, man, number 15 in that red jersey, he's a
Yeah,
bad
bro.
man. He don't give a fuck about your stats.
It is going to be a problem for that Eagles defense,
Yeah,
and it's going to be a very if that what it's very unlikely that a shutout will occur in this goddamn thing, but anything can happen. But honestly, let's be real, bro. Everybody out there is playing for Mahomes. That motherfucker is too goddamn humble. Everybody wants to win for his ass. You see that shit every goddamn game, and it doesn't even. They don't even have to be at 100% to do what the fuck they do.
yeah,
Like my boy Dan Campbell saying, of course that's the Detroit Lions, but like my boy Dan Campbell say, sometimes you're gonna have to be at 84%, but we'll still beat your ass. We'll beat
yeah,
your ass at 84%.
yep, yep.
I don't care how bad Mahomes' ankle is, or if it's messed up, or if it's not, because it really doesn't matter. Let's keep it 100. Because
So long as they hold the ball and don't fumble it, Eagles got a good chance. If it's a good game, then I'll tune in the fourth quarter.
I think my score prediction is gonna be Kansas City 41, Eagles 20.
Wow, that you don't say it's gonna be an ass whooping. Hell nah, Keith. That's hilarious. But
I'm on
but
that.
So I thought this whole time you were like Eagles, 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 and nope. It's gonna be a bloodfest. Eagles are gonna go. I'm crying. They're not gonna have a fucking chance. They're not gonna have a pillow to sleep on.
I think it's going to be a very close game in the first half, but I think Kansas City takes care of business in the second.
Well, it's gonna hit the over according to your prediction, so that's good. The over and under is set at 50.
Can we get a Segs best bet real quick?
Seg's best bet? Yeah, I would certainly put money on Jerick McKinnon touchdown. That's best bet. Jerick McKinnon touchdown. Put your nutsack on it.
Jerry McKinnon. All right. Y'all hear it, folks.
Jerick McKinnon touchdown. It's gonna happen.
All right. And what is your score prediction? You never said what you think the score would be.
I don't even want to say.
Home,
I don't even want to say. But gun to the head. You know what? 10-3. That's gonna be the final score. 10-3. Kansas City wins. It's gonna be a shit fucking Super Bowl. It's gonna be fucking terrible. It's gonna be the refs are gonna be in it the whole time. They're gonna ruin it for the Eagles. And that way the Eagles can be like, oh, it's the refs. It was the refs. No, you lost. Bye.
All right, Joe. So this is the end of our segment. Thanks for tuning in. If you have any critique for us, any questions, comments, concerns, please drop that down in the comment section below.
You want to hear it all.
Good and bad. Just let us know something. Make sure y'all hit that like button, y'all. Thank you.
Like.
Back in that bag again. Whoa, yeah. Hey. Back in that, yeah.